Well, I'm Kevin McComb. This is my wife, Bunny. We run a small cow-calf operation in southwestern Colorado. We run on irrigated pastures the majority of the year, and then we summer our cattle at high elevation on public lands. We run about 120 mother cows and retain our own replacement heifers, using balancer bulls as a terminal cross. We like the Gelbvieh cattle because of their docility. We get along with them, their maternal traits. Our cow size, we try to keep them moderately cow-sized. Running on public lands in big country, big cows have a tendency to fall apart if they get too big, and so we try to keep moderate-sized Gelbvieh cows. The top end of our forest allotment is probably getting close to 11,000 feet. So one of the major concerns that we have is pulmonary arterial pressure, and we have to be very cognizant of what that might do. And yeah, we end up with a bull that ends up with high altitude disease or brisket disease, whichever way you want to call it. And we hate losing that bull, but our biggest concern is since we do retain our own heifers, we are very cognizant of that PAP pressure because genetically that's passed along and we don't want to deal with it for generations. And so even if we test our bulls here at home at 6,200, we still have to be concerned about those animals when they go. So our vets have helped us with a little criteria that, you know, at this elevation you could probably deal with this PAP score, at this elevation this PAP score. And so we've kind of settled it at anything that's 40 or less, we're pretty happy with. And we have not had a problem with PAP in our Gelbvieh cattle. But since we're typically balancer based, we do have that Angus influx. And so we still have to be very cognizant of it. And so we try to watch the PAP scores on anything that we bring in that's Angus. When we're selecting bulls either for purchase or out of AI catalogs, a couple of characteristics that we look for are probably birth weight. We want these cows calving unassisted. Not that we're not here to do it, but it just makes life a whole lot easier, and I think the calves do a whole lot better if they're born naturally unassisted and they can get up and nurse and go to mama and take care of themselves. So birth weight's probably one of the high things that we concentrate when we're looking at. We also take a look at the weaning weight. That big consideration is we need the most pounds we can on weaning weight. So that's the big criteria that we take a look at. I still have a little trouble buying bulls sight unseen. I'm not sure that I want to just call and do that. I want to see the structure, I want to see their attitudes, I want to see what they look like. I like to see feet and legs. I want to make sure running at high elevation, they've got to be able to travel. They've got to be able to make a lot of country, and so they need to be structurally correct. Well, we run our crossbred cows with the balancer. I mean, the Angus and the Gelbvieh thing seems to work, and each one of those has some traits that we really appreciate. We get the size and the scale, and we get the carcass size and volume out of those Gelbvieh cattle. We like the carcass ability that comes from the Angus side of that. They're a little earlier maturing. They marble up a little quicker. I don't know, like I say, we don't go the distance with these cattle, but I'm thinking that if we get the Angus in them, we're going to get a higher percentage that'll grade choice when they get to the end product. We basically live in a high desert, and feed is a premium. And so if we can keep that cow size down, and if we can get that 625-pound weaning weight on a cow that eats less feed, that's something that we're very interested in. I was telling Bunny the other day, you know, I don't believe that there are any bad breeds of cattle. That there's some work better for other people, and so we've kind of settled on the Angus and the Gelbvieh and the balancer for our operation.